Fort Lauderdale isn't nearly as walkable as some other major cities like that of New York and Chicago. However, people are constantly reaching out to us asking us, hey Joe, what are some of the most walkable areas here in Fort Lauderdale? So let's talk about it. And in order to be considered walkable, I think we need to have some criteria, otherwise we're just winging it. So they have to have at least 3 of these 5 things. A grocery store within walking distance, activities or a park within walking distance, restaurants within walking distance, social activities like that of a bar or something else within walking distance, and last but not least, either a corner store or a coffee shop within walking distance. So first up on the list, we have Lauderdale by the Sea, which honestly might be one of the best small towns in all of South Florida, but that's for a different video. So overall, Lauderdale by the Sea does have a 67 walk score on walkscore.com, and it is, like I said, one of the best small towns. And it does have all 5 of the criteria. So first up, it does have a Publix, which is right there. It also has what none of the other cities have, and that's the beach. Plus there's a beachfront cafe where you can grab a bite to eat, maybe even a quick coffee, which is really nice. Speaking of coffee shops, there is a coffee shop right across the street from that beach cafe and the beach as well. And personally, I think the best restaurant here in Lauderdale by the Sea is Taco Craft. However, I do love Mexican food. Can you really go wrong with chips, tacos, and a margarita? Granted, there are plenty of other great restaurants like that of 101 Ocean, Harrods by the Sea, and even Aruba. Now, when it comes to the social events and different things, there are plenty of different bars here as well, like that of Even Keel, Vinny's, and even Pier 14, but honestly, I like Even Keel right there on the corner of Commercial and A1A. Now, when it comes to the real estate here in Lauderdale by the Sea, I think it's the coolest thing about it. It is that small town feel like I was talking about, with a max of only 4 stories, and the median sales price is only $685,000. So now we're in Flagler Village, which actually has an 89 overall score on walkscore.com, and they also check all 5 boxes. So first up, when it comes to a grocery store, you do have Winn-Dixie directly across the street off of Federal. And it definitely has a different vibe overall here in Flagler Village. As you can see, it does have kind of that trendy, hipster kind of vibe, very similar to that of Wynwood in Miami. However, we're in Fort Lauderdale now. Shops with that of like Wells Coffee and little different coffee bars. The best one has to be Circle House Coffee. Then in terms of restaurants, I mean, there's plenty of different ones like that of Livia Bar and Grill. You even have the Heritage right behind me. Then there's also Patio Bar and Pizza, which has one of the best happy hours in all of Fort Lauderdale. Then in terms of bars and kind of things to do on the social side of things, this is probably where they really do excel. They have different things like Glitch Bar, which is a ton of fun. They have a bunch of different games within it. They have Roxanne's. They have different breweries like that of Invasive Species. They do even have a park, which is Holiday Park. Now, technically, it's in Victoria Park. However, it's right across the street, so we're gonna count it just for the sake of it. But if we're not counting it, then they have 4 out of the 5 things to make it walkable. And as you can probably notice, the real estate here in Flagler Village is a little bit different from the rest of it. Most of it is apartments, condos, and townhomes. You're probably wondering, Joe, you said this is the most walkable areas and neighborhoods in Fort Lauderdale. Why in the world are you driving? Well, to be honest with you, the reason I'm driving is it's the middle of the summer and it's freaking hot out, and I just decided I didn't want to sweat my butt off. Now we're in Coley Hammock, which is probably your most stereotypical to a downtown area because we're right off of Las Olas. So in terms of walkability, you do have all 5 things that we were talked about before. So you have a Publix with a Greenwise, you have restaurants and pretty much your pick of anything and anything you could want because you're right downtown. You can get Fogo de Chao, Cheesecake Factory, or my personal favorite, El Camino. Then in terms of coffee shops, you have plenty, so you can go to your generic Starbucks, or you can go to a new fun place like that of Ann's Florist. In terms of social activities, I mean, you're right near downtown, so obviously you have all the options under the sun. You can go to happy hour, you can go to a speakeasy, you can go to a bar, you can go to a waterfront bar and restaurant like that of Salt 7, you can go check out the new Palm Room, you can head downtown and go to the Wharf or Backyard or even Booze Garden, so their options are really endless. And there are parks here as well. So you do have a park right here on the water called Coley Hammock Park. On top of that, if you really want to walk, you can walk all the way down to the beach. However, it is about a mile, mile and a half. What most people end up opting to do is either to take a nice quick car ride, or they even just take their golf cart, because a lot of people in Coley Hammock and downtown in general do have a golf cart. It just makes it easier to #1 park and also just get around. When it comes to the real estate here in Coley Hammock, it is a good mix of single family homes, condos, and townhomes with a median sales price of $1.25 million. However, there are more luxury condos coming. Now we're in Rio Vista, which is probably one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Fort Lauderdale, whether it's walkable or just to live in because of the homes on the water, and just everything it has to offer. Now I will say this neighborhood, of all the ones that we're looking at today, is probably the least walkable, even though it does have a pretty high walkability score. Now technically it meets all 5 of our criteria. There is a Publix right across the street off of 17th Street with also an LA Fitness. There are plenty of restaurants right nearby off of 17th Street. One of my favorites is Fat Boy on Federal. And it does have plenty of corner stores like that of Primo Liquors. You have a coffee shop with Starbucks. You have Press and Grind Coffee as well. Now when it comes to the parks, there are actually 3 parks within the neighborhood, and you will constantly see families and people out playing at them, or even just walking around the neighborhood with strollers, biking. It's a very active community, I will say that. There are also different events that go on at these parks on the weekends as well, which is a really nice thing, especially if you live within the neighborhood. Now when it comes to the real estate here within Rio Vista, for the most part it is all single family homes, with a lot of them being torn down and redone from the studs up. Now it is the most expensive neighborhood we're looking at today, with a median sales price of $2.8 million. However, the reason for this is a lot of the homes here are a little bit larger, and a lot of them are on the water as well, plus the proximity to downtown. Now we're in Tarpon River, which is honestly one of the more slept on areas here in Fort Lauderdale. You have great proximity to a lot of different areas like that of Riverside Park, Rio Vista, and even downtown. Plus a lot of these homes are actually on the water. And when it comes to the walkability, it does check all 5 of our boxes as well. So you do have a Publix, which is right down the street, right near downtown. And if you want to, you can go to Publix, or there's a couple different corner stores throughout. Some people think, oh, I'll just go to Riverside Market. However, Riverside Market isn't a grocery store. It's actually a bar where you can go and grab beer out of a cooler and you pay at the end. Now, when it comes in terms of parks, there are 2 parks within the neighborhood, Tarpon River Park as well as Hardy Park. And as you can see, it's plenty expansive. You can go and have fun with your family, have some fun with some friends. And then when it comes to things to do, there are plenty of great things to do. You do have a corner store with a coffee, Wells Coffee. You also have Tarpon River Brewing, which is a must go to. Then when it comes to social activities, there are plenty of great things down here as well, like Tarpon River Brewing, the Fritz, and there's even a cigar bar. I know, a cigar bar is fun, but apparently my sister thinks it's fun. Now when it comes to the real estate, there's a nice mix of multifamily, single, as well as townhomes, with the median sales price being $689,000. So those are the most walkable areas here in Fort Lauderdale. So let me know in the comments down below, which one of these areas did you kind of just not know about before, or which one did I miss? And if you or anyone you know are looking to move to Fort Lauderdale or South Florida in general, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can call me, email me, text me, DM me, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.